My name's Anthony Hines. For the last 40 plus years, I've been trying to help people with their career, trying to help people when they have um, times when they're in transition, because I know how challenging both can be. Not only when you're in transition because of the fact that people don't always do what they say they're going to do, and also, too, it's very hard sometimes when you don't have transitional help and you really don't know what to do. You're kind of at a loss. You don't know where to start. You don't know what's going to work. You don't know how to do it because number one, you've lost your routine, and number two is you're just not sure how to get started. If you listen to my podcast, I swear you're going to learn how to get traction in various aspects of the job search process. Why you would not listen to them, I don't understand. I'm telling you this because I went through a layoff period in 2009 where I was out for 13 months, 13 plus months, and I only had one interview during that period. So I had to try a bunch of things to get traction, to get moving. Okay? Think about this, people. One interview in 13 months. Okay? And I do this so that you will not have that pain that I felt when I was going through it. And believe me, I know that pain. I know that feeling. I know that day to day, how am I going to get out of this mentality and what am I going to do? Every once in a while, I do a podcast about me. Why? Because I want people to understand why I do this, what it's about, and how you can gain from my experiences. My premise, people, is this: experience that is not shared is or are experiences that are wasted. Okay? So if I'm going to go through this, I want everybody to learn what I learned so they don't have to go through it. Okay? Very basic. All right? I could charge people for this information, but I don't do it. Why? Because the people who need this the most need their money for other things. Okay? So, I want you to I want you to understand this basic point, and that is that this process is its own routine. It's not like anything else you're ever going to do in your career because your career, when you work in a job or a business or the like, has many fixed related items or fixed um, policies in the environment where you're going to follow a lot of these policies or a lot of this info and a lot of these rules once you're in the business or in the company or the like. You understand what you're doing. In this business, in this process, there are very few rules. There are very few set policies. There are some ideas of what you can do, and there are things that you can do, like the things I tell you, but they're not rules. There's no place you can go to say, do these 5 things and you'll be all set. Sure, there are ideas, there are experiences, or there are ways that have been successful, but there are not guarantees that these policies or processes or rules are going to be successful to you. That's why I give many different ideas, people, because you never know what's going to work for you. Okay? I'm thinking about people at all different ages, all different incomes, all different setups, all different situations, So my premise is that I want you to have all these ideas. I want them spread out in your brain, spread out on your table, spread out, and so you can take the ones that work for you and you can take the ones that work to help you get your job in best way. I am not going to gain from you getting your job other than helping you because that's just kind of how I've dealt with what I was dealt during this period is to try to help as many other people as I can. Okay? Now, when I give you recruiters, I want you to reach out to all of them. Okay? Because the fact is, these are people I've found that more often than not are going to be to give you some response. Why? Because some response is better than no response. So you really, what I'm trying to do is keep your confidence up so you don't spiral down and go and get into a bad place because you're not getting any results. Okay? When I say to you, do informational interviews, that's going to give you experience in information in interviewing. Okay, even if it's a setup where the interview is more a prep type interview or the like, the more interview experience you can gain, the better off you are. And if you can do it in a setting that's like that, that's only going to help you. So, when I give you recruiters, go to them and let them know, and you always want to let them know I sent you. Okay? Because that way, if they know I sent you, then if they place you, it's in my pile. But also too, there's a better chance they're going to respond to you because guess what? If I find that the recruiters that I am giving you are not responding, guess what I do? I stop recommending them. Okay. And if I stop recommending them, all the people that come to me go to other people. Okay. So how does that affect them? See, you are part of a group in the respect that you came to me so that I give your name to my group, my recruiters. And the point of the matter is, I watch to see what recruiters respond. And if they don't respond, and I'm not guaranteeing that everybody's going to respond, but some of them will. But if I find some that are consistently not responding, guess what? They're ditched. They're out. They're gone. Why? Because I had too many of them that didn't respond to me when I was unemployed. Okay? So they're going to pay for that. All right? Because my premise is it's useless to me to have people on my list that I'm recommending that are not responding because it's no value to anyone. It's no value to me, it's no value to you, and it's no value in what they're supposed to do. So I don't care. If I'm finding that people are not responding, they're gone. Okay? There is no premise here. Either you help people, either you respond to people, either you give the people the respect or you're out. Okay? And that's the way it's going to be with all my contacts. You're going to find that a lot of my contacts respond quickly or respond, pretty well, much more than by going in blindly. And that's part of my gig, people, because I'm working to get you so that you get people that come back to you to keep you confident and keep you feeling that you have a real shot. Okay? Next, focus on what you can control. What have I told you? I tell you this. Do your LinkedIn profile. Make sure everything's in there. Get your free education that's out there or in your local community. Tell all your friends and tell all your contacts. Do lunches and meals and coffees with all your contacts and work it. And I mean work it. All right. So my point is this is a project. This is just like anything you've done. This is a job in itself to get the job. Because remember, who's to say that you will not get the best job you've ever gotten here? But this is on you to take small actions on a consistent basis to make it work. Okay? People, think about the ants that build an anthill. What do? They just keep going, right? And they do one little piece, one little day, one little trip with one little piece to build the hill and keep the hill going, right? But the fact of the matter is, when they look up and it's all done, it's a giant anthill. But what do? They focus on every single trip, every single piece that they put into their anthill. That's what you got to do. Okay? With all the things that I'm telling you, you got to focus on every one, let it grow, go to the next thing. Focus on the next thing. Let it grow, go to the next thing. Don't be thinking about what you cannot control. Focus on what you can take action where you can take small actions, because small actions are very controllable, small actions are very measurable, and small actions keep you feeling like you're moving along. All right? So, again, do all those things that I just listed quickly to you and go and take care of the business and get it done. Next, physically, mentally, spiritually, you got to reset and you got to come together and you got to improve yourself. Okay, all aspects. You've got to be the best you can be, because that way, when you get a phone call, and people and hiring managers do this, they call you out of nowhere. It could be a job that you applied for 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Guess what? They just get into it. Why? Because they're busy. So, you know what? You got to be ready. This is on you. And if you say to them, in my opinion, if you say to them, oh, could you please call me back tomorrow? Chance they'll call you back? 50-50. Why? Because they get a list of 5 people or 10 people they're going to call. Sure, they may call you back, but if they only have time today to do that, go through that list, what are the chances they're going to call you back tomorrow? So you don't want to miss the opportunity. So you got to be on, right? Physically, mentally, spiritually. I have found in my experience that when you improve that, you are on your game. You're sharp. You're ready. Okay? Now, have you kept a list of the jobs you applied for in the spreadsheet that I is in my documents on Scribd? Have you pulled down that spreadsheet, have it ready, and keep it updated? Why? Because when that person calls you from a job from 4 weeks ago, you're going to go to that list and you're going to go, oh yeah, I applied for this. Boom, 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 boom. In goes your 30-second speech, and you're on your way. But if you call back and you're struggling, you don't know, and you're out of focus, and you're unorganized, guess what? How does it look to the person on the call? The more organized you are, the more you take control, the more you drive the process in the ways that you can, the better off you are. So the fact of the matter is, drive what you can, control what you can. Make sure you're organized. Make sure your jobs, make sure everything to do with what you do is organized, and that way you'll be ready. Okay, because you never know when that call is coming. Okay, so be ready. People have called me at night. They've called me on Saturdays. They've called me they've called me during the day. No notice, but I'm ready. Why? Because that could be the key that unlocks my next opportunity. That was how I saw that situation, and that's what I tried to do. But this is on you to do it. It's not on somebody else. Everything I give you, people, is you. Everything I give you is about stuff for you to do, not waiting for other people. Because if you sit around and wait for other people, guess what? You're going to be sitting around a long time, because they have their job, they have their stuff, they have their life, they have their routine, and they have their other people. So the fact is that you are not their number one priority. You are your number one priority. So the fact is, you've got to be the best you can at you, so that you're ready and you're gut and you're going and you're on. Okay? Now, how about your network? How about your people? Are you linked to everybody you're supposed to be linked to? Have you gone out and made a list of people that you've worked with that you may not be linked to and gone out and linked to them? Have you done any of that? Have you gone through your jobs on LinkedIn to make sure that all of the duties that you did are in those jobs? Why? Because guess what? You never know what somebody's going to call you on, right? And if your customer service skills, your organizational skills, your ability to follow detail skills are out there, that's going to be a trigger for people, right? Also, how about the fact that that people put their old job up top as if, and they don't tell people they don't tell people they're looking for opportunities. How is anybody going to find you if you don't put looking for opportunities? What are you thinking? What are you not thinking? What you're not thinking is that you're thinking that people will osmosisly find you out of nowhere. You've got to make it clear to them. What can you control? The clarity for people to find out that you are, through your LinkedIn profile, that you are in the transitional process. All your social media, have you made it clear to people that you're looking for your next opportunity? I always tell people, tell everyone, but guess what? This is on you to tell people to do everything. Okay? So make sure that in all the places you can, you let people know. All right? Now, something else. Are you aware of your skills? Or are you the kind of person who sits there and goes, oh, there was no big deal, I did this? Guess what, people? Stop telling yourself that things are no big deal. It was no big deal, I did this. Every skill that you have is a big deal because it's a skill that makes you you. So the fact is, enough with the downplaying of your skills, enough with the downplaying of your what makes you you and makes you special in the workplace and in your career. Your career is your responsibility, no one else's. So you can't be downplaying your skills, and you can't be downplaying the things that you've done and your achievements. Okay, I hear that. It drives me crazy when I hear that from people when they say, oh yeah, I got a degree, but it was no big deal. What do you mean it was no big deal? When you stayed up till 3 in the morning studying for those tests, are you going to tell me it was no big deal? When you didn't go to the beach for that whole summer because you were studying in your class, you're going to tell me it was no big deal? When you had to really focus on your time and you gave up a lot of things so you get that degree or get that certification, are you going to tell me it was no big deal? Of course it was. So you know what? It's a big deal. The education you got, the certification you got, whatever you got, your achievement, the projects that you implemented, these are big deals. Why? Because you had to give up something else to get them done. And you had to really, really make sure that you were into it and make sure that you did your best. These are achievements, people. Achievements matter. Achievements are a key thing. How about mentoring? Have you mentored a lot of people quietly or on the side and never really gotten credit for it? Well, guess what? It's a big, 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 big thing to companies because that means you share knowledge, you're a team player, and you help the company to grow in a way that is very sort of like ripples in the water. It helps the business to grow substantially. Are you giving yourself credit for that? Is that in your resume? Is that in your um, profile? Is that in everything you do? How about offshore? If you've dealt with people offshore or dealt with other cultures or dealt with people through phone calls in various times like 11 at night or midnight or 3 in the morning because you had to deal with their times. How about the fact that you did that? Are you downplaying that? What are you downplaying that for? It's not natural for people to have to be on calls at midnight or 3 in the morning due to cultural differences. You did it. It worked for you. It became something that was part of you to bring you success in your projects. Why the heck wouldn't you do it? It shows your ability to handle a diverse workforce. It shows your ability to handle multiple cultures. What are you thinking, people? These things matter. Your customer service skills, you hear me say it over and over and over again. They matter. Your ability to follow through. Those skills matter. And the fact of the matter is, it's not just your technical or your ability to know some software or system. What about your soft skills? Don't say you don't have them. I know you do. So the fact is, which ones do you have? Which ones can you go out and get while you're in transition? And which ones are out there? And which education can be useful for you so that you can be a little bit better in those areas? Those are things you work with your unemployment counselor on. You work on you work with your transitional services on, and you try to make a little better you over time. It's not like you have to do a million things. You just have to do a bunch of small things, because these things will lead to you to gain progress. And the fact of the matter is, remember, you're only looking for one job. Okay? This is why I am calling this the job seeker pep talk. You're only looking for one job. Your career is your responsibility. Let's end unemployment one person at a time, and let's start with you. And these are ways to do it. Okay? You grab a pen and you be ready, and you, even if you have to listen to this podcast again, go and get these ideas and keep them and go. And listen to my other podcasts on Podbean, because they go into all of these items and they talk about various subjects. You think I'm doing this, people, for my health? I'm doing this to help people that are unemployed, help people that are not getting calls, help people that are not getting noticed, help people who no one is helping, and help people to get moving on their own skills and believe in themselves, because it's so hard. It's so hard to keep your confidence, to keep your beliefs, to keep going when you're unemployed, because it's so damn hard. Okay? Because everybody else has their routine, everybody else has their things going, and the fact of the matter is, no matter what you want to believe, some people believe that the unemployed just are not as good. I lived it. I know. I felt it. I'm there. I understood that. I don't think it's correct, but some people feel that way, and you have to fight that. And these are ways that I am helping you to fight this. Okay? This podcast, if you listen to any podcast, this is the one you have to listen to, because the fact of the matter is, you got to develop your own confidence, your own pep, your own drive, your own strength. Because the fact is, time will pass. You got to keep your routine. You got to get up early in the morning. You got to get moving. And the fact of the matter is, there are some days you want to sleep because you can't believe it happened to you. You know what I say? On those days, sleep. You know why? Because you're not going to get anything done anyways. So when you have certain amount of days that you just can't play the game, and you just want to take a break, and your body's telling you you're tired, take a break. Go to the beach, go to the library, go do something for you. Because you know what? As I told you, it's balance, it's physical, um, development, keeping yourself physically strong, mentally strong, spiritually strong. So if you got to take a break sometimes, do it. But come right back when you're ready and jump back into the pool. Okay? Jump back into the sandbox, because that's what you got to do to keep this going. Guys, my podcasts have a different. You know why they're different? Because they're passionate, and they're not from some stupid book, and they're not from somebody telling you just because somebody else told them, and they're not trying to sell you big things, based on these little podcasts. They're from the heart, people. They're from the heart, because it's horrible when nobody calls you. It is horrible. I know that feeling. I've never forgotten it. It's been 10 years. And I know that feeling because it just really stinks. Okay? I'd say another word, but some people would get offended. It just really stinks. Okay? So, your career is your responsibility. So drive it. Make it happen. Go with it. Also, people, never forget that the best people that are going to help you are the ones that have been through it. You're going to have a lot of people. Your friends are going to ask you what to do, or what can they do to help you. You tell them what they can do to help you. Things like, "Oh, I just applied to your company. Could you put in a good word for me?" Things like, let me know if there's any new positions in your company. Don't sit there and say to them, "Oh, I'm all set." No, you're not. You're not all set. Get whatever people can do for you, and have something they can do for you, because you got to get all these things moving, people, because you're only looking for one job. So you got to move in a lot of different directions and a lot of different ways. All right? If somebody asks you what they can do, then you tell them what they can do. Okay? Be aware of that. Have you gone to your professional organizations that you're a member of and really let people know there that you're unemployed? These are people that are working. Have you done that? Have you gone to chapter meetings? Have you gone to dinners? Have you gone and volunteered in those organizational events? Why the heck not if you haven't? Because that way you're going to get around people that are working. You always want to network with people that are working. Why? Because they'll make a bonus if they get you hired. So go around and be around those people, right? Get around those people. Finally, as I said, the people that will help you the most are the ones that have been through it. But you've got to stay away from negative people. Stay away from people that are going to bring you down or have limited access to those people, because they're going to suck out your energy and you need your energy for you. I don't care if you're a giver. Hey, I guess I'm a giver because I've been doing these podcasts for people. All right. Now up to, by the way, over 130 as of this moment and growing. All right. I don't know why you wouldn't listen to them. I don't know why you wouldn't have them out, but that's another thing. What I'm telling you is, if you're a giver, focus on you. Enough of everybody else. You've got to take care of yourself during this situation. It's not a bad thing. It's not a guilt thing. It's not anything negative. You've got to take care of yourself during these situations, because it's on you to get your next job. Yeah, other people can help, but it's on you to drive it. So focus on you. No matter how big of a giver you are, it's time to turn that giving onto you and make sure it happens. This podcast has been longer today. Why? This is a pep talk, a basic pep talk to anybody who's in the job search process. No ifs, no ands, no buts, no excuses. Just actions for you to do to get yourself moving. I've been taking a little break on my podcast lately because I've been trying to come up with some good ideas and to help other people. And I figure this pep talk is great because what it will do is just give you focus and just be there for you when you're down. All right. Now you got to join my group, Anthony Hines Job Search and Career Help Now group on LinkedIn. Why the heck wouldn't you do it? I get recruiters in there. I have recruiters that are in the group. Why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you go to my profile? My Anthony V. Hines profile on LinkedIn. Why would Anthony V is my middle initial, Hines? In there's an article with all these job search tips. Why the heck wouldn't you get it and download it? Why wouldn't you follow all the tips one by one? It's in a checklist. It's a checklist. It's like a recipe. It's like a cookbook. And the fact of the matter is, I do it in that way so you'll feel that you can control it and it doesn't overwhelm you. Okay? But it's on you to do it. All right. I am really, really focused on you as the person to believe in yourself. You will go nowhere in this process until you believe in yourself and that you know that you provide value and you're going to be clear of how you're going to provide that value to a company from day one. That is something you want to know so that when people interview you, how are you going to provide value? What kind of costs are you going to reduce? What are you going to do in your interview? In your interviews, what are you going to show them? What are you going to say that's going to show them you provide value? Okay? All right. Here's the deal, people. This process begins and ends with you. Begins and ends with your ability to know you, your ability to love you, your ability to develop you, and your ability to be the best you can be. Okay? No ifs, no ands, no buts. I am not trying to be Mr. Motivational Speaker. I am talking to you, the person that is going through the time in transition. It wasn't personal. It happened. Business does this. Why? Because they believe that they have to save money or they're going in different directions. Sorry it happened. I apologize for them. But understand this, people. Who's to say the next job is not the best job you will ever get in your career? What? That is on you. Okay? If every day is dark, if every day is going nowhere, I want you to replace that. Replace that with sunny. I want you to replace that with a mindset that you're going to succeed. And I'm giving you a bunch of little tips here, and I want you to listen to all my podcasts. Go get my job search article on my LinkedIn profile and go. That's what I tell people when they email me. Go get the article and go, because this game is about you going and not stopping until you get the next great opportunity for you. My name is Anthony Hines. For the last 40 years, I've been trying to help job seekers, and I've been trying to help people to develop their career. Why? Because there are many times I did not have someone that helped me. I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn good, I had to learn bad. And I'm going to take that experience to help you to be the best you can be. Listen to my podcast on podbean.com. Go out and subscribe to my career podcast and follow my article on my LinkedIn profile. And just know you can be the best you, because you never know your which great opportunity you're going to come across next. It might be the best job ever. The best job you'll ever get could be your next job. Remember, your career is your responsibility. And help me. I need you to help me with two things. Send me feedback, what you think of my stuff, and also, too, help me by letting people know about my podcast, because I want to end unemployment one person at a time. Again, have a great day and do your best. And just remember, I'm there to support you, and I'm there behind you because I've been through it and I know it. I know those ups, I know those downs. I'm there for you, and hopefully my podcast will inspire you. So have a great day. Bye-bye.